Hello everyone, góðan daginn allir, velkomin á þennan fyrsta fund ársins. Við erum með hérna Vinicius sem ætlar að kynna fyrir okkur svona certification leiðir og verður það með það núna næstu 45-50 mínúturnar og við sjáum hvernig það gengur. Þetta náttúrulega mun nýtast okkur allir þeir sem eru að fara að taka próf núna næstunni, þannig að bara bjóða hún velkomin og bara þakka fyrir. Thank you, Vinicius, and to come here and help with this presentation. So I'll just give you the torch and you can start presenting.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Let me share my screen and we can start. All right. Hey, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and safe. Today, we are going to talk about the Azure certification journey. But before we start, I would like to introduce myself. So who am I? So my name is Vinicius Deschamps. You can call me Vini if you want to contact me later on. I know my name is not that easy to say in English or maybe in a different language as well. So I'm from Brazil. I live in a city called Florianopolis, aka Floripa, in the south region of Brazil. I have 15 years of experience in IT, most of them working in Microsoft environments. I'm also graduated in information security and have bachelor degree in information systems. I'm an owner and organizer of Azure Group here in Brazil. If you would like to know a bit more about me, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on Twitter, and check my content on my website. All right, so here's the agenda for today. Why should I become certified? What difference does a certification bring? Certification path and the journey. So let's start. Why should I become certified? So giving you a bit about my background. Since I joined on IT area, I always heard about certifications are essentials to stand out. So in the technologies world is too dynamic and demands that IT professionals keep themselves up to date. And having the experience isn't enough. And this is not just me saying. Experience is great, but how do you demonstrate your knowledge and skills to employers and colleagues? This is Nancy Tandy, a business strategy manager worldwide learning from Microsoft, saying that. And guess what is her answer for this question? Certification. And I brought some numbers for everyone in the call. So IT professionals that have at least one certification worldwide, 92%. These surveys was done by a company called Global Knowledge. I can share the link later on if you want. So in the EMEA region, those numbers are slightly different, 94% of people certified with at least one certification in IT. And I believe you're probably asking yourself, what difference does a certification bring? Because there are a lot of people certified out there. Why should I become certified as well in the first place? And the first reason is there is a high demand in technology area versus the lack of qualified professionals. And the certification allows you to stand out, that's for sure. Even if there are a lot of people getting certified, that pie chart only shows to us the IT professionals that have at least one certification. So you can think about getting more than a single certification, get a path that we are going to cover later on in this presentation. And this means that the certification can help you to become a valuable player in the organization. And by the way, check these out. Here are the top 10 areas with the greatest difficulty in hiring professional. So this is important to know, especially for those who are either starting their career or are thinking in changing to technology, or even change areas inside of technology. So let's say that you are someone that are working in the networking area and wants to change to cybersecurity or cloud computing. So talking about cloud computing, if you notice, this is really concern because companies are investing pretty high to move their data, websites, and etc. to the cloud, but it's being really hard to hire people specialized and qualified in cloud computing. And those numbers are the same for worldwide and for the EMEA region, so 28%. So companies are looking for architects, administrators, and people who handle their cloud computing area. And they are having problems to find those professionals. Therefore, you must get qualified and get certified for sure. And to come up and try to show you how those numbers also affects you, 64% of the decision makers say certified people deliver $10,000 or more in additional value compared to non-certified employees. And again, this is valuable information because it shows the importance of a decision maker see in a professional that is certified. And by doing so, you get the recognition from the exam issuer, and companies know that you hold that knowledge and also delivers value, as the decision makers are saying. And as a professional, your curriculum will be highlighted with a certification badge, and you acquire knowledge, grow in your career, and facilitates your hiring, and the numbers speak for themselves, right? So, and what are the benefits for getting certified? So here's another amount of numbers. So post-certification effectiveness. So 10% of people says that they received a raise, 27% faster at performing a job, 32 say that they are more engaged with work, 49 said that the quality of work has improved. And more important, because no one is working for free, right? On average, certified professionals earn 15% more, and this is worldwide. Okay, so this is part of the survey that the Global Knowledge did. So those numbers are promising and exciting. So if you are looking for a motivation to get certified, here's an advice: starts now, or maybe Monday, because today is Friday and everyone needs to rest, right? So, but joking apart, those numbers must be your motivation. If you still don't think getting certified is for you, so we need qualified professionals. Company needs qualified professionals, and also with a certain level of experience, certification can help you with it. And another thing that helps you to align your experience with certification, you probably heard that calm sea never made a good sailor. So it's important to get that as well. So align your certification within your experience, because it doesn't make sense you are a solutions architect, for example, or I don't know, maybe a DevOps engineer, and you don't have any exposure to those areas at all. But okay, I'm done with the numbers and trying to convince you to get certified. So let's see the certification path and how you can start in the journey, right? So talking specifically about Azure, I'm going to show you all the badges that are possible in the Azure world, starting by the fundamentals. So Azure has introduced the 900 exams. So the whenever you see a 900 exams, unless these change later on, you will notice those are for fundamentals. So it's the first level of an area, let's say like that. So we do have the AZ900, that is the exam for the Azure in general. So it will talk about cloud computing and the resources that are available, a bit of the regions, and some other basics concepts about the cloud itself. We also have the AI fundamentals, data fundamentals, and the security compliancy and identity fundamentals. So those are specific exams for the areas that I just mentioned, and they will cover the foundation for you to start in one of these areas, okay? And then we will have the specialty exams. Those exams are for some specific products that Microsoft has in their Azure, in Azure world, right? So Azure for SAP workloads specialty, Windows Virtual Desktop, Azure IoT Developer, and Azure Cosmos DB. So those are resources that exists in Azure world, and you can get specialized on that. And then we do have the role-based. So you find the Azure Administrator, Azure Developer, Azure Solutions Architect, DevOps Engineer, Azure Data Scientist, Azure Data Analyst, Azure AI Engineer, Azure Database Administrator, and Azure Database Administrator. I had a typo here. It's not this one, but I will fix that later on. Azure Database Administrator, Azure Stack Hub Operator, and the latest ones, Azure Network Engineer Associate, and Windows Server Hybrid Administrator. And finally, we also have the Security Compliancy and Identity, Security Operations Analyst, Identity and Access Administrator, Information Protection Administrator, Azure Security Engineer. And you're probably saying, whoa, a lot of certifications available, but where should I start? And the idea is that you can do a path that follows your career, or even help you to learn other areas that add value and more knowledge to your background and keep you up to date. But if you ask me, I would say start with AZ900, no hesitation here, because even if you have some experience but you never done any certification exam, this exam it's right for you because it gives you some foundation, and we will be able to put yourself out there doing the certification exam and see how the process works, how the questions are made, how you can organize yourself to do the questions, to answer the questions, and of course fill any gap that you have in your knowledge by studying and learning about the AZ900, right? But before we go deep into the exams, let me warn you about prerequisites. Be careful with the prerequisites, because sometimes people want to get a specific badge and don't notice that there are prerequisites involved. And here's the thing. You can study for any certification without worry about prerequisites. But if you succeed on the exam, you are not going to get the title associated with that exam, for example, because if there are prerequisites associated with that exam, you will only get the badge for that particular exam. So let's say that you are pursuing the Azure Solutions Architect. If you there is a prerequisite to become an Azure Solutions Architect, you must do AZ-104 and then pass on it, and also do an AZ-305 to get the badge Azure Solutions Architect. But let's say that you didn't do the AZ-104 and you have done AZ-305 right away, and you pass. So you will get a badge saying that you were approved on the 305 exam instead of this Azure Solutions Architect, right? So in order to complete and receive the proper badge that you are pursuing, you must follow the prerequisites. So if it's saying that you must pass an exam prior to that, you should do it. So another thing is, those prerequisites are not just provided to give the exams in Microsoft more money. Instead, it's because it is like some stair. You need to go a level time by time, right? So you are going to create your foundation first, and then you go to the next level, and so on and so forth. So the idea here is to give you enough knowledge by doing the AZ-104, and then if you succeed, Microsoft is trying to say to you, okay, so if you want to pursue another exam like 305, you have the knowledge that you need to pursue that as well. And if you pass, then you are a solutions architect. So be careful with it. And in my opinion, to succeed, follow the prerequisites. And if you don't have any certification, add the AZ-900 in your path on your plan as well. Okay. And another example, there's this example, and there's another one that there are prerequisites associated with. So the DevOps engineer, it also requires that you have another exam that you pass in another exam. So you should have at least AZ-104 or AZ-204. So for those who don't know about the AZ-104 and 204, AZ-104 is the administrator one, and 204 is the developer one, and the 400 is the DevOps. And again, you can do AZ-400 right away, but again, you will be more successful if you do the prerequisites that Microsoft is suggesting. Okay. Another exam that has some prerequisites is the AZ-800 and AZ-801. So in order to get the Server Hybrid Administrator Associate badge, you need to pass those two exams. They are a combination. And again, if you allow me to suggest, please do the AZ-900 first, and then you pursue the rest of the path that you are planning to. So in my opinion, to become an Azure Solutions Architect, you should do AZ-900, AZ-104, and 305. However, if you are already studying for those, because 305 it's a new exam, right? So if you are studying in 2022 for the 303 and 304, do that as soon as you can, because I believe that Microsoft is doing more exams right now that are splitting the knowledge across multiple exams. And 303 and 304 covers a lot of the AZ-700, which is the network engineer exam. So by covering 303 and 304 right now, you would be able to cover a lot of the networking part in those two exams and give you more knowledge on it without having to get to study to another exam, the 700. So if you are having plans to take the 303 and 304 to pursue the solutions architect, go for it as soon as you can, because I think the 305 will take place and replace those 2 exams. So it will become just the 305. I haven't taken that yet, but I will. And that's what I'm assuming, that 305 will cover less networking than the 303 and 304 had. Okay. And yeah, so a lot of things, a lot of paths to pursue and prerequisites to pay attention on. But what about the journey of it, right? Because why I call a journey? Because it's not easy to get certified. We know if it was easy, we wouldn't see that graph at 92%. We would see like 100%, and everyone will be certified somehow, at least with one certification. So there are a lot of things that can show up during your studying process, and how you spend time to do the organization for your study, practical, hands-on, and so on. And another thing, even if no one told you that, if you are doing an exam, you are putting your knowledge to the game, right? Because and these can cause an effect on you that doesn't affect others. So don't worry about getting nervous while you are doing a certification exam. It's normal, because either way you are putting money, and you also trying to convince someone, in this case Microsoft, that you are that you have the knowledge to earn that badge that you are doing the exam for. So that's the reason why I call journey, because everyone has their history, their gaps, their knowledge, their background, and their qualities and pros and cons. We know that. So to be able to accomplish in a better way, you need to be committed to what you are studying on. You need to have some hands-on. You need to be patient with yourself. And here's why I say that. You need to get easy on yourself, because if you don't pass on the first exam, don't give up. It's normal. And again, if it would be easy, we would see 100% of people certified, and it's not the case, at least currently. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to redo the exam. It's okay to need more time to study than others. Usually I get asked about how many months do you need to get certified? I said, well, I have my own pace, usually 2 to 3 months, but the dedication behind it, no one asks, right? Sometimes you are too tired to study. Sometimes you don't want at all, because you are, I don't want to study today, and that's fine. As long as you keep your own pace and you find that it's good for you, continue. So be patient with you, okay? Another thing, don't be shy, ask. If you have a question, ask the question. No matter if you think it's a dummy question, no matter if you think that people will laugh at you. I don't think that this is still a thing, actually, nowadays, at least in professional work. So stand up and ask whatever questions you have, because that way it shows you are growing, you are learning, and you are improving your knowledge, right? So that demonstrates that you are trying to learn and keep you up to date. And another thing that is really, really important, community. Learn from your colleagues, from your peers. If you know about any Microsoft community out there, Azure Group Iceland, it's a good example. So Azure Floripa as well, and talk with colleagues and see if they know any community, that technical community, that you can participate, that you can learn, that you can ask, that you can share your knowledge, share your, I don't know, maybe fears, maybe concern, your joy as well if you succeed an exam. And again, and not again, but in another thing actually, um, to help others, because everyone start at some point, right? So everyone was a beginner before being an expert. So if you are in the position to be a beginner, so get help from others. That's no shame on it. And if you are an expert already and you have knowledge, share this knowledge. And to do that, be part of a community. That's great to be part of a community. It is great to be part of a community. And another thing that it's good, and I want to share with you, is Microsoft offers a Microsoft Learning with where you could go and take training for free for the exams that Microsoft has in place. So if you want to take the AZ900, for example, you can do on your own pace by checking the Microsoft Learning. So over there, you find all the chapters that you have to follow, all the steps, all the topics that you are going to learn, and then you can do that on your own pace. And plus, in the Microsoft Learning, there's an experience bar. As long as you move towards to more certification, you get a bar that it's called experience, the XP bar. So it's growing, and it you can see yourself with a great knowledge at the end of the day if you follow these Microsoft Learning. Another thing, Microsoft Azure also provides, I didn't do the conversions, but $200 for you to start for 30 days to learn Azure. And after that period, you have tons of resources that are still free of charge after these 30 months trial. So put some hands on and go for it and learn Microsoft Azure. And one last thing that Microsoft, I think, announced a couple weeks ago, they have created an exam demonstration. So if you never did, if you never done an exam, you can access a website that gives you the experience of taking an exam, all the process. So how it looks like the first screen, how it looks like, what I need to read, what I need to accept, how many questions I'm going to have, how many time am I going to have to answer those questions. So I can also provide the link later today. So there are no technical questions in this exam. It's just for you to feel and get the sensation of being in a situation where you are taking the exam. So you can like train your brain to be calmer whenever this situation is for real, right? And I just want to remind you that the only thing worse than training your employees and have them leave, it's not training them and having them stay. So this is Henry Ford that states that, because sometimes companies have the fear that if they get a lot of people certified, people will leave, right? But what about if they don't and they don't have the qualification that it's required, right? And another reminder, it's to get certified. 64% of the decision makers say certified employee delivers $10,000 more or more in additional value. So if you don't have any motivation to get certified, and you are an experienced guy or experienced girl in IT world, you should. These will make you stand out from others. This is going to add tons of value for you, professionally speaking. And sometimes even a career change might be the case, because you will be really qualified. You will have the badge to prove to others that you have the knowledge, that you hold that knowledge, and you will be you will be easy to find by other companies, because you will be out there whenever people look for new employees in LinkedIn, new hires in LinkedIn. They will find your profile just because you have a new badge. And that's pretty much it, actually, about Azure certifications. So questions? And thank you once again.
Thank you for this. It was, I agree totally what you have said there. I've already done the Azure Solutions Architect certification, and I mean, it is something that people should not think of as a issue if one doesn't pass. I have failed a lot of times for the past, my first exam was in 2013. So I have been taking a lot of exams since then, and just passed the Azure Solutions Architect just before Christmas, and it was a lot of exams that I have failed of, and that's something that I have learned from. So it's not like I take the exam and pass and or fail and don't learn something from it, and really learn from failing. And that is something that's important. And sometimes I say it's good to people to fail, because then they get really more insights into the material they are getting.
Yeah, for sure.
So if there are any questions, please shout them out now. If not, then we thank Vinicius and their football team in Brazil. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a football guy?
I used to when I was younger. I used to play soccer a lot, but I think when you get old, it's hard to find people to play, and then you with the age you start to it. I'm not with my full body here, but if I stand up, you will see that I already have some fat going on here, and so I don't have. How can I say that? I don't have the same excitement to go out there and play soccer anymore, because 5 minutes and I'm down to the field like I cannot breathe. Please help me.
Yeah, I mean, like the soccer team in Brazil, like Neymar and Pelé, they're all legends. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I haven't. I didn't have the opportunity to see Pelé playing, but my father says that we won't have anyone like Pelé, because it is amazing what he has done and what he has accomplished. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
So, yeah, I think this is good. So thank you. This is great to have you here and explain this for us. I know that there are a lot of people taking exams now, and thinking about it. So
we hope so. Yeah. Thank you again for the opportunity, Gisli.
yeah,